If you've spent any time looking for ways to protect your vision, you've heard the standard advice. Eat more berries. Eat more kiwi. Add this single superfood to your breakfast and your eyes will be fine. Good nutrition matters. But if you are over 60, here is the honest truth most health videos won't tell you. Diet alone is only a fraction of the battle. You can eat a pristine bowl of fruit every single morning, but if you're exposing your unprotected eyes to direct ultraviolet radiation, letting blood sugar quietly climb, or skipping your dilated exams, that diet is working against an impossible headwind. Think of it like a car. You can buy the most expensive premium fuel in the world, but if the oil is bone dry and the tires are bald, good gas will not stop the engine from seizing. Your eyes work the exact same way. Today, we're looking at 6 non-negotiable habits that protect your vision far more effectively than diet alone. No expensive gadgets, no complicated 20-step routines, and no false promises about reversing permanent optic nerve damage overnight. By the end of this video, you will understand the exact mechanical stresses breaking down your lens and optic nerve, and you'll have a clear, realistic blueprint to protect them starting tomorrow morning. My name is Dr. Rohan Devraj. I specialize in preventive health, and today we are protecting your vision. Stay with me. Before we get into the first habit, I want to hear from you. Drop your first name, your age, and where you're watching from in the comments right now. Whether you're 62 in Ohio, 75 in Florida, or tuning in from the UK, let me know you're here. And answer this honestly. When was the last time glare from oncoming headlights made you hesitate to drive at night? Or when did you first notice you were holding a medication label under a brighter lamp just to read it? I read every comment. Let me know where you stand. And if this is your first time here, tap that subscribe button now. Every single week, we break down the quiet, practical biology that keeps you independent and thriving as you age. Now let's look at what is actually happening behind your lens. To protect your vision, you first have to understand a fundamental medical reality. Cataracts and glaucoma are not the same disease. They happen in completely different compartments of the eye, and they destroy vision through entirely different biological mechanisms. Let's start at the front, the lens. Your lens is a clear disc sitting right behind your iris. Its job is simple. Bend and focus incoming light onto your retina so you can read a book, thread a needle, or see the road clearly at 50 miles per hour. Inside that lens is a matrix of highly organized, crystal clear proteins. When you are 20 or 30, light passes through them like polished glass. But over decades of metabolic activity, oxidative stress, and UV exposure, those proteins begin to denature, cross-link, and clump together, much like the clear white of an egg turning opaque white when heated. That slow physical clumping is a cataract, and it shows up in quiet, frustrating moments. You're driving home after dinner, and oncoming headlights explode into blinding starbursts of white glare. You're sitting at the kitchen table with your reading glasses on, holding a medication bottle under a lamp, squinting because the letters look smudged. Or you notice that deep blues and greens in your garden look dull and washed out. That is a mechanical breakdown of the lens. Now look deeper inside the eye at glaucoma. Your eye continuously produces a clear, nourishing fluid called aqueous humor. To maintain healthy internal pressure, that fluid must drain out through a specialized microscopic meshwork at the exact same rate it is produced. Think of it like a sink with the faucet constantly running. If the drain becomes narrow or clogged, fluid backs up and internal pressure spikes. Right at the back of the eye sits your optic nerve, a dense cable made of over 1 million delicate nerve fibers carrying visual data directly to your brain. When intraocular pressure stays elevated, it compresses those microscopic fibers against the rigid walls of the eye, starving them of blood flow and quietly killing them off. And here is the terrifying reality about glaucoma. It produces no early pain, no redness, and no warning. You can sit at your breakfast table feeling entirely healthy while your peripheral nerve fibers are permanently dying. By the time you notice you're bumping into door frames or missing objects to your side, those nerve fibers are gone. And unlike skin or bone, optic nerve tissue cannot regenerate. That is why eating a handful of berries is simply not enough. Your eyes are complex living organs. Instead of just asking, what superfood should I eat? The real question is, what physical forces are damaging my lens and optic nerve every single day, and what habits stop them? That brings us directly to habit number 1, an invisible force hitting your eyes every time you step outdoors. Habit number 1, shield your lens from cumulative UV radiation. Let's start with something millions of seniors overlook every single morning. Every time you step outside, your eyes absorb invisible ultraviolet radiation. It doesn't burn like a hot stove, and there are no pain sensors on your lens to warn you. But over 60 or 70 years, high-energy UV wavelengths act like slow heat on the delicate crystalline proteins in your lens, accelerating the chemical cross-linking that creates cataracts. When you reach for sunglasses, don't just grab a dark pair because they look nice. You must look for the label UV 400 or 99 to 100%, UVA and UVB protection. Here is why that distinction is critical. If you wear dark, cheap sunglasses with zero UV coating, the darkness causes your pupils to dilate wider. That opens the door for unfiltered UV radiation to flood straight through your pupil directly into your lens and macula, doing more damage than wearing nothing at all. Add one more physical barrier, a wide-brimmed hat. Sunglasses leave gaps around the top and sides where sunlight bounces off concrete, sand, or water. A hat blocks up to 50% of those overhead rays before they ever reach your face. Make reaching for your UV 400 sunglasses and hat an automatic reflex whenever you walk out the door, whether you're gardening, taking your morning walk, or running errands on an overcast day. Habit number 2, deliver fat-soluble carotenoids directly to your retina. You've been told 1,000 times to eat your greens. Let's look at the actual biochemistry for your eyes. We aren't talking about a bowl of pale iceberg lettuce. We are talking about dark, nutrient-dense leafy greens, spinach, kale, collard greens, Swiss chard, and broccoli. These specific vegetables are packed with 2 critical carotenoids, lutein and zeaxanthin. Inside your eye, these compounds concentrate directly in your macula, acting like an internal pair of chemical sunglasses that absorb high-energy blue light and neutralize localized free radicals before photoreceptors are damaged. But here is the absorption secret most people miss. Lutein and zeaxanthin are strictly fat-soluble. If you eat a dry, fat-free salad, your digestive tract simply cannot extract and absorb these nutrients efficiently. Most of that protective pigment passes straight through your system unutilized. Always pair your greens with a modest source of healthy fat. Drizzle a tablespoon of extra virgin olive oil over your steamed greens. Slice half an avocado into your spinach salad. Or saute your kale in a touch of healthy oil alongside your morning eggs. Let's be completely transparent. Eating a bowl of spinach tonight will not dissolve an existing cloudy cataract tomorrow, nor will it replace prescribed pressure-lowering glaucoma drops. What it does is feed the healthy living tissue you still have, keeping your biological defenses loaded every single day. If you're taking notes or learning something new about your eyes right now, type the number 2 in the comments. Just the number 2. Because now we need to move from the front of your face to what's circulating through your bloodstream, and how one silent systemic issue accelerates lens clouding faster than almost anything else: blood sugar. Habit number 3, stabilize your blood sugar to stop lens swelling. Most people think elevated blood sugar is just a problem for lab tests or cardiovascular health. Inside your eyes, high glucose acts like an invisible wrecker. Here is the mechanical reason why. Your lens has no direct blood supply. It relies entirely on the surrounding aqueous fluid for nutrients. When circulating blood glucose spikes and stays high, excess sugar diffuses directly into the lens. Inside those crystal clear fibers, an enzyme converts that glucose into a sugar alcohol called sorbitol. Here's the problem. Sorbitol cannot easily escape the lens. It acts like a trapped microscopic sponge, pulling water in through osmosis. That excess fluid causes delicate lens fibers to physically swell, lose their tight organization, and cloud over, accelerating diabetic cataracts. At the same time, chronic glucose spikes damage the microscopic capillary walls, nourishing your retina, setting the stage for diabetic retinopathy. You don't need an extreme restrictive diet to counter this. Focus on stability. Take a gentle 10 to 15-minute walk after your largest meal of the day to flatten post-meal glucose spikes. Minimize ultra-processed carbohydrates and sugary drinks that flood the bloodstream with glucose. Work closely with your physician to keep your A1C within a safe, steady target. Habit number 4, eliminate smoking to cut the oxidative assault. If you currently smoke or use tobacco, here is the plain medical reality. Smoking doubles your risk of developing nuclear cataracts. Not by a tiny fraction, by 200%. Every single puff delivers thousands of toxic compounds into your bloodstream. This creates a double assault. It floods your system with free radicals that strip away your circulating vitamin C and glutathione, the exact antioxidants your lens relies on for defense. It causes systemic vasoconstriction, choking off the microvascular blood supply, feeding your optic nerve and retina. Quitting at 65 or 75 is never too late. The moment you stop, your vascular circulation rebounds, and the massive oxidative burden on your lens drops immediately. Clinical proof. Robert's story. Consider a patient I worked with named Robert, age 67. Robert came into the clinic noticing that oncoming traffic at night was becoming a blinding haze of glare, and his eye exam showed early lens changes alongside borderline intraocular pressure. He wasn't in a crisis, but he was sliding down a slippery slope. Instead of waiting passively for surgery, Robert locked in 3 basic lifestyle adjustments. He kept wraparound UV 400 sunglasses in his car and wore a wide-brimmed hat on his daily walks. He added a 15-minute post-dinner walk and brought his blood sugar back into a stable range. He paired a daily serving of dark greens like spinach and kale with healthy fats like extra virgin olive oil. 12 months later, at his follow-up dilated exam, his lens clarity and eye pressure remained remarkably stable. Now, let's be scientifically honest. Robert's story is not a promise that lifestyle replaces medical intervention. Genetics, age, and individual anatomy all play a role. But Robert proved that when you take modifiable risks off the table, you give your eyes the strongest possible fighting chance. And that brings us to a risk factor sitting in millions of medicine cabinets, one that many people never connect to: sudden spikes in eye pressure. corticosteroids. Habit number 5, practice steroid awareness and pressure monitoring. This habit isn't about something to start taking. It's about a risk sitting right inside your medicine cabinet. If you regularly use corticosteroids, whether oral pills for arthritis, steroid inhalers for asthma, or localized steroid eye drops, you must understand their direct impact on ocular biology. First, a non-negotiable medical directive. Never stop a prescribed steroid medication on your own. Corticosteroids manage critical inflammation, and stopping abruptly can be dangerous. Instead, practice proactive steroid monitoring. In susceptible individuals, prolonged steroid use alters the microscopic drainage meshwork in the anterior chamber of the eye. Fluid drains slower, and intraocular pressure begins to climb silently, increasing the risk of steroid-induced glaucoma. Furthermore, systemic and topical steroids accelerate a very specific type of clouding, posterior subcapsular cataracts. Unlike age-related nuclear cataracts that develop slowly in the center of the lens, posterior subcapsular cataracts form right at the back surface along the central visual axis. Even a tiny clump of cloudy protein in that specific spot creates severe glare in sunlight, makes reading small print nearly impossible, and progresses rapidly. If you are on long-term steroid therapy, treat eye pressure checks like the oil gauge on your car's dashboard. Inform your eye specialist and schedule regular pressure checks to catch spikes before optic nerve fibers are compressed. If you are taking notes and committing to protecting your vision starting this week, type the number 4 in the comments right now. Just the number 4. And if you have a spouse, sibling, or friend over 60 whose independence matters to you, tap that like button and share this video with them today. Giving someone the knowledge to protect their eyesight before permanent damage happens is one of the kindest things you can do. Habit number 6. Never skip comprehensive dilated eye exams. There is a reason glaucoma is called the silent thief of sight. It destroys vision in absolute silence. There is no pain, no redness, and no dramatic morning blur. It quietly destroys peripheral nerve fibers first. Even worse, your brain possesses an extraordinary ability called binocular compensation. It essentially patches over blind spots using data from the other eye, hiding the damage. You can walk around feeling 100% fine while up to 40% of your optic nerve fibers are permanently dying. And remember, reading 20/20 on a standard letter chart does not mean you are free of glaucoma. Visual acuity only measures central vision. You can have a perfect 20/20 central score while advanced glaucoma is eating away your peripheral field. A true comprehensive eye exam is an entire diagnostic battery, tonometry to measure intraocular fluid pressure, pachymetry to measure corneal thickness, which affects pressure accuracy, dilated fundus exam and OCT imaging to directly view and scan the microscopic layers of the optic nerve head, visual field testing to detect peripheral blind spots before you notice them in daily life. Once optic nerve fibers die, no supplement, diet, or eye drop can resurrect them. Don't wait for your eyes to complain. Let your eye specialist catch changes years before you can feel them. The master daily rhythm. Knowing the science is only half the battle. Consistency is what actually protects your vision. You don't need a complicated 20-step protocol. Simply anchor these 6 habits into the routines you already have. 1. Your outdoor shield. Place your UV 400 sunglasses right next to your house keys. Whether you are stepping out for a morning walk, checking the garden, or driving to the store on a cloudy afternoon, sliding on your sunglasses and grabbing a wide-brimmed hat becomes an automatic reflex, before your shoes even touch the porch. 2. Your plate routine. Keep a bag of fresh spinach, kale, or broccoli in the front of your refrigerator. Add a single generous serving to one meal every single day, sautéed in extra virgin olive oil with dinner, or scrambled into eggs with avocado at breakfast to guarantee high fat-soluble absorption. 3. Your metabolic reset. Instead of sitting on the couch right after your largest meal, take a quiet 10 to 15-minute stroll around your neighborhood or garden. That gentle movement acts like a metabolic sponge, clearing glucose from your bloodstream before it can diffuse into your lens. 4. Your annual anchor. Open your calendar today and schedule your comprehensive dilated eye exam. If you are over 60, have diabetes, or use corticosteroids, make sure your specialist measures intraocular pressure, corneal thickness, and scans your optic nerve head. The honest boundary box. Let's be completely clear about what lifestyle habits can and cannot do. These 6 habits are protective maintenance, not a magic eraser. They will not dissolve a dense, mature cataract that requires safe, standard outpatient replacement, and they cannot regenerate dead optic nerve fibers lost to late-stage glaucoma. What they do is defend the living cells, clear lens proteins, and delicate microvessels you still have today. They slow progression, lower mechanical stress, and keep your vision resilient for decades to come. Before you go, there is one final silent habit that undermines all the hard work you do during the day. You can wear your UV 400 sunglasses, eat your greens with healthy fats, and keep your blood sugar steady, and still expose your eyes to severe physical strain right before you sleep. I'm talking about a habit millions of seniors do every single night, holding a bright phone or tablet inches from your face in a pitch-black bedroom. In a dark room, your pupils naturally dilate to let in light. When a concentrated, high-contrast beam of light hits that dilated pupil, your ciliary muscles lock in a state of continuous spasm. Your blink rate drops by over 60%, and your photoreceptors are pushed into overdrive, right when your ocular repair cycle should begin. In my very next video, I'm breaking down the 3 bedtime habits seniors must avoid in a dark room, how screen contrast impacts aging eyes, and a simple 30-second evening routine that resets ocular strain before you sleep. Tap that subscribe button and turn on the notification bell right now so you don't miss it the moment it goes live. Your eyes have carried every precious view of your entire life. The faces of your children and grandchildren, the pages of your favorite books, the open roads and familiar places you love. Those ordinary moments are worth protecting with everything you've got. I'm Dr. Rohan Devraj. Take care of yourself and take care of your vision.